Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Matea Rentia, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome back to another Your Friday 5 episode. A little short ending to the week with something fun. Today, I'm excited because I want to talk about a super amazing, high protein, easy 3-ingredient dessert recipe. And I realized I don't know why I've never talked about this because I make it quite often. Now, some of you may be more or less familiar with using rice paper in recipes. So that is, for example, the thin outside that if you get spring rolls, it's see-through, right? So when it's dry, you can find this, by the way, in the Asian aisle of all grocery stores are going to have this. So you just see it says rice paper. They sell them with anywhere from 10 to 15 in a pack. And when they're dry, it would crack very easily. But what you do is like you take a plate and you put some water on it and you just get a little bit of water all over it. And within 5, 10, 15 seconds, it becomes very malleable. Like it's actually kind of hard to work with. And what you're going to put in there, you're going to put some Greek yogurt, any flavor. I have found it works best if it's one that is sweet in some capacity. So whether it be, I really like vanilla Greek yogurt, but you can do strawberry, blueberry, whatever you want to use. If you need an exact amount, I do anywhere from 1/4 of a cup to 1/3 of a cup, somewhere in that range. And then I will put on top frozen blueberries. Now, you can use fresh fruit. I find that for this particular combination, it works best because we're going to fry it in a pan. I'll explain. It just ends up being very amazing when you have that Greek yogurt and the frozen fruit. I've tried it with fresh fruit and it still works. It's just not as amazing because it doesn't sort of turn into like a syrupy consistency. Okay, so I'll put like 1/4 of a cup of frozen blueberries on top, and then I put the rice wrapper around it. Sometimes I'll use 2 because if I'm using more of the blueberries and Greek yogurt, then I'll need another rice wrapper on top. So think like a pancake that you're folding like a present. Okay, I don't know any other way to describe this. Hopefully I can put in the show notes, find the link to the actual one where I saw this back in the day. But you could also make it like the shape of an egg roll. You could do triangles. You can do whatever you want, like wontons, right? Like, I mean, literally this is endless what you can do. But the point is then you're going to fry it in a pan. I just do a little bit of 0-calorie spray and I fry both sides and then you have it as a dessert. And what's so nice about this is that it's high protein because you have the Greek yogurt. You're also getting fiber because of the berries. And it tastes amazing because you have the crunch from the outside with the rice paper. And then you have the warm inside with the fruit that's kind of melted at this point. And the texture is phenomenal. The taste is so great. And what I find is people typically like their food when they get variety. So that we talked about this recipe right now, but I've also had, let's say, a leftover veggie stir fry, and I will use a rice paper and put it inside and make myself veggie egg rolls. And it just changes it a little bit. And then that way it's like, oh, this is so fun. You could be literally eating the same raw veggies, but you slice it up and you stick it in there. And that's literally what a spring roll is, right? And so it's just taking the food that you love and just transforming it ever so slightly. This is a really easy idea. Rice paper keeps well in a Ziploc bag. Like you can keep it for a long amount of time, between uses. You can use it for absolutely anything. There's so many endless ideas. I'll see again if I can link to a few of my favorite ones in the show notes, right? Reminder, if you're new to these episodes, the Monday episodes that we have are regular longer episodes. Those always have show notes on my website, rentiaclinic.com. when you click on podcast, but these episodes we don't. So always look either underneath or swipe to the right or left, however show notes pop up on the podcast player that you're listening to. That is where we have the link for these kind of things. But let me know if you try this. This is something that at times I'll forget that it exists. And I'm like, oh yeah, it exists. The other thing, just last thought here, because I've seen people talk about it as quote unquote candy. Like they'll cut up strawberries, they'll put it inside the rice paper, roll it up. So think like fruit roll up style. And then they might put it in like a 0-calorie sugar sweetener. Think like a Swerve brown sugar, something like that. You can fry it or not before you do the sugar or after. And it's literally like candy. Now, I want us to get some protein in. You know me. we're not doing things where we don't get protein in. I mean, you can do it, but there's so many ways to have fun with this. All right, let me know if I probably missed a ton. Again, some of you might be super familiar with this. Others, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I hope that this was fun, reminded you to either go back to it or gave you an idea if you weren't using it. Have a great rest of the weekend. We'll talk soon. That marks the end of today's episode. But if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about, because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.